I had an emotional affair with a guy who worked under me, and that was just the beginning. I told my husband that was all it was, a boundary I crossed during a stressful time. I said the things you say when you're desperate to keep it contained. It was never physical. It didn't mean anything. It just happened during a rough patch. I said all that while there were 2 videos on my phone. 2 different men, 2 different nights. I told him both happened on out-of-town trips. Only one did. The other was here. Same city, same bed I used to crawl into next to my husband. But he didn't realize it. That was 8 months ago. Since then, we've both been in individual therapy. We've been through 2 different marriage counselors, both CSATs. Both said the same thing. If there's going to be any hope of actual reconciliation, I need to do a formal therapeutic disclosure followed by a polygraph. And that's where I keep freezing. It's not even about hiding more. At least that's what I tell myself. It's about the fear, the idea of being strapped to a machine while someone measures whether my body believes my words is almost unbearable. I can't breathe thinking about it. I shake, I cry. Things are bad as they're. Imagine what happens if he learned of the other mistakes I've made through the years. One night stand here, another brief entanglement there. I feel this boiling panic that makes me want to walk out of the room, and yet I know exactly what it looks like from his side. I know what it sounds like when I say, I want to rebuild trust, and then draw a big red circle around the one thing he needs to even consider believing me. He hears I'm still lying, and if I'm being honest, I can't say he's wrong to think that. The affair partner isn't in the picture anymore. He hasn't been since the fallout. Few weeks ago, though, he messaged my husband, told him I wasn't telling the full truth, that I wasn't capable of facing what I'd done. My husband shut it down, told him not to contact unless he was ready to say everything. That was ages ago. Then suddenly the guy reaches out again with a vague message. It's time we talked. No follow-up, just enough to screw with us. I watched my husband sit in the kitchen and refresh his messages for hours. I watched him tense up every time his phone buzzed. I made this mess. I gave the other man space in our marriage. And now I see the way my husband's face goes hollow when he sees another couple holding hands. He told me he looks at them and wonders who's cheating, who already has, who's about to. And I know exactly where that came from. He says we're not actually in reconciliation. He says I'm pretending we are while avoiding the hard parts. That I've been going to therapy and saying the right things, but refusing to go all the way there. That every time he asks for full truth, I offer just enough to keep him from leaving. And he's right. I've been managing the damage, not healing it. I've been scared and humiliated and ashamed. And I've let all of that matter more than being honest. I still don't know if I can get through the polygraph without breaking down. But I know I can't keep asking him to rebuild something I keep covering with half measures and fear. I made him live a lie, and now I want him to believe my version of the truth. But he's not obligated to. He doesn't owe me trust just because I say I want it. If I really meant it, I wouldn't be avoiding the one thing that might give it back. I don't know how to sit in that chair. I don't know how to stop shaking, but I'm going to have to learn or let him walk away. Because at this point, I'm the reason he doesn't feel safe. And if I want to stop being that person, I need to show him that, even if it terrifies me. Update. After that last message from the affair partner, just a vague little grenade dropped into our lives, my husband tried to stay composed. But I saw him spiraling. He didn't reply. He just watched, waited, looked at me with that hollowed-out calm he's gotten so good at, like he already knew there was nothing worth saving. I told him I'd go forward with the disclosure. I told him I'd do the polygraph. I told our therapist too. I wanted to mean it. I still think I did, but it was too late. He told me he was done. He said he'd been holding on to the idea that maybe I'd reach that point, where I'd finally let go of control and give him the whole truth, no matter how bad it made me look. And maybe I really was heading there, but he couldn't stay suspended in that limbo anymore. He said it's not that he doesn't want to believe me, it's that he doesn't want to need to keep checking. He walked me through it calmly. 2 D-days, a mess of contradictions and delay tactics, a marriage built on version after version of the story, and now an affair partner who won't go away, who seems determined to drop bombs for the fun of it. He said he doesn't believe the AP anymore than he believes me, that we're both cut from the same thread, people who cause damage and then act wounded when someone steps away. He didn't yell. He didn't shame me. He just said, "You've said you're working on being honest, but I've been living under your learning curve." I thought the disclosure and polygraph might buy me more time, that they might give him just enough to hang on. But what I didn't realize is that time was the cost, that every day I waited, avoided, broke down instead of showing up. That was what finally made him stop waiting. So yeah, I'm going to do the disclosure. I'm going to do the polygraph. I'm not going to pretend it's going to win him back. He told me he'll sit for it. He wants the full picture, but not for reconciliation. He said he wants to walk away with clarity, not confusion. That maybe the only piece I can give him now is truth he doesn't have to pry out of me. He's meeting with a divorce lawyer. I told him I'd do the same. Not to argue over everything, but to handle it with whatever decency I still have. I won't make him beg for honesty again. I won't send him recovery updates like I'm checking boxes. If he wants to know something, I'll tell him. If he doesn't, I'll live with that too. The affair partner? Not my mess to handle anymore. I gave that man too much space already. If he comes back around, it's through the therapist or not at all. I am done with attention. I am done with chaos. I am done thinking that regret is a substitute for change. I thought if I could just be better, he'd stay. What I didn't understand is that you can start doing everything right and still be years too late. That's not punishment. That's cause and effect. He told me I taught him how to see couples differently, how to wonder who's lying. I don't get to ask him to unlearn that. I don't get to ask him for anything. I will finish what I started, even if it's only for me, even if the truth lands in his inbox and he never replies again. Because if I ever want to be someone safe, someone honest, someone real, I have to do the thing I've been most afraid of and sit in it, even if the person I love most is walking away. Comments, wayward here, years out. The polygraph isn't about catching you in a trick. It's about giving your husband something objective so his nervous system can stop guessing. You can be terrified and still choose it. That's what recovery feels like. Doing the thing your fear tells you not to. Finish the formal disclosure with your CSAT, let his therapist shape the questions, and stop trying to preserve your dignity in the wording. Then accept whatever he decides without bargaining for credit. If you want a shot at being safe someday, this is the price of admission. As someone whose spouse left after AP drama, I'm telling you, respect the exit and keep doing the work anyway. Give him the full disclosure and take the polygraph because truth is owed, not because it might win him back. The consequence of delay is that you can do everything right and still be too late. Do it anyway because the person you become on the other side is the only thing you actually control.